Let's get into it. Don't ever let anybody talk you out of loving yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, nobody else will. I don't care what you're going through or if you're not going through anything at all. Self love is mandatory. End of story. Broke up, so what? Lost your job, so what? You don't have two pennies to rub together, so what? You're losing because you're losing you. God gave you gifts He didn't give me. Things that need to be nurtured that I can't do for you. You got to do it for yourself. But you letting life get the best of you. Do you know this life is all you got? So I need you to lift your head up, smile, get outside and greet somebody today. Let me tell you what happened to me on today's journey. Today, I saw a lady working in a grocery store. And she looked at me and said, "You're so quiet. You've been listening to me talk to people all day and haven't said a word. You're just minding your business." I didn't even say nothing to her. I just smiled because no words were necessary to keep it G. Here I am doing some electrical work and she's working at her check stand telling everybody it's a blessing to have you in my store today. Be blessed. Come back and see me. A few people even asked her to come from around her cash register and give her a hug. All I could do was admire her and how she was greeting folks because what she understood is being kind is free. This woman loved herself so much that she had an abundance of it to give away. I'm talking about everybody in her line, where they were happy, sad, down, depressed. After they spoke with her, they were okay. And I really didn't say nothing because I knew had I said anything, the lady wouldn't have stopped talking to me. God bless her heart. But she was just a major blessing to people. It just made me think of how brighter your light shines when you love God and you love yourself. You could really tell she was thankful for her job and that she cared about her appearance. Just her stepping around the counter to hug people and saying, "Come back and see me." You know, this is an employee just working a check lane, but I mean, A1 hospitality, 5 star. You feel me? And this is the same reason I love San Diego, bro, because the people are so welcoming. They make it their business to meet you and greet you. And, they don't want nothing from you. They just happy, you came to visit their city. And that's why a lot of people go back home, man, pack their things and move back. I won't mention certain cities, but, you don't even want to roll down your windows. You know what I'm saying? Attitudes stink. People's people's whatever, just everything about them just stinks. The air stinks. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's shopping. They're on their phones. Lunch on their phones. Jogging on their phones. Nobody's waving. Nobody's smiling. It just sucks, man. I grew up on a block where if a car was driving by, you know, not knowing each other from Adam, we waved at each other. I just like good energy, man, and it all comes back to loving yourself. The one thing I learned is it doesn't matter where you are. It all starts with loving you and loving your appearance, taking care of yourself, loving yourself enough just to, tell the people walking past you, hello. Because being kind to people is free, man. It just raises the vibration and makes the world a better place. I didn't speak to that lady earlier, not to be rude, but I was just in such admiration of her. It was just like a reflection of myself. I mean, if I could be like that, I would be like that. But it was just a blessing to be in her presence. Like I was low key speechless. You feel me? All I could do was just smile. You know what I'm saying? While she talked to me, she just very positive and uplifting. Words weren't necessary, and it just made me want to raise my bar. You know, concerning kindness, which leads me to saying, be the person that you want to see. You feel me? And that's why loving yourself is mandatory, because a lot of people think self-love is optional, but really it's mandatory in the story. You got to take care of yourself before you take care of others. you know you have to present yourself as something and someone that you've earned and accomplished. Self-love is not a reward, it's a requirement. Self-love is a foundation. It's where everything starts. If you don't love yourself, nobody else is going to love you. Sorry to break you the news. And it's not because people don't care, it's because people can only meet you at the level that you carry yourself on. If you don't value yourself, if you don't respect yourself, nobody's going to respect you. You take care of yourself, people going to take care of you, because the energy you put out is the energy you attract back. And when you don't love yourself, when you're walking around broken, bitter, depressed, negative, that's the energy you putting out into the universe. That's the energy people are feeling that's coming up off of you. And if you stay that way, you're going to start attracting the wrong things, situations, and people, because you're not right within yourself. You're not good. You're not whole. But when you love yourself, when you're good with you, you're just a complete individual. Your energy shifts, your frequency rises, and you just start attracting all the right things and all the right people, all the right opportunities. You got to start moving different, because it's all about operating from the place you want to see yourself. You feel me? If you want to attract abundance, you got to start acting like abundance. Cut all the brokenness and the lack out of your program altogether, and start walking in love instead of walking in fear. Let me tell you what happens when you lose yourself, because that's what a lot of you are dealing with. You're dealing with external problems, dealing with internal problems. You've lost yourself, forgotten your way. You forgot what makes you happy. You've forgotten what lights you, what lights your fire, and what real love feels like, and can't seem to put your finger on what your purpose is, and can't recall your gifts. You've lost yourself, and it seems like everything is falling apart. Your relationship is falling apart because you're not whole. Your career is falling apart because you're not motivated. Health falls apart because you're not taking care of yourself. Your finances are falling apart because you're not disciplined. Peace is falling apart because you're not grounded. And most people don't even realize they've lost themselves until it's way too late. Until they wake up one day and don't recognize themselves in the mirror. Until they realize they've been living for everyone else instead of living for themselves. And they realize they've been so busy people pleasing and trying to fit in that they forgot to love themselves. And that's the trap. That's the downward spiral when you start answering to people. When you start dimming your light to please others. You start compromising your boundaries and start sacrificing your happiness for someone else's comfort. You start playing by all the rules just to be politically correct. When you start moving like that, you forget to move like you. And the longer you do that, the more you lose yourself, the more you lose your energy. the more you're going to lose your frequency. You're eventually going to lose your happiness. You're going to lose your peace until basically you're just going through the motions, living but non-existent, not thriving. Not a very cool experience. So let me tell you what you need to do. You need to get back to you. You need to get back to doing all of the things that make you happy. You need to get back to being yourself, the real you, the authentic you, the you that don't give a damn about what people think, that doesn't care. You don't need permission to be happy. The you that doesn't need validation to feel good. The you that is 1,000% confident. And here's how you do it. You start small. Start with the basics. Lift your head up, smile, greet people. All of that's free. Take care of your appearance. Start eating healthier, things that make you feel good. Listen to your favorite music, things that lift your spirit. These things will start bringing you joy. You want your favorite meal? Go get it. You want to hit the beach? Handle it. You want to take a hike? Go. But stop making excuses to be unhappy. Whatever's going to bring you joy, do it. Being miserable does not pay. Because when you love you, everybody loves you. Even when they don't love you, they talk about you, so they still love you. So today is just time to get back to it. Put yourself first. That's non-negotiable. And don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself. Go get you a good steak or something today. A healthy salad for my vegans. You know what I mean? Because all of this life you have, it's about you. It begins and ends with you. And that's why I'm trying to tell you that kindness matters. It's one of the highest forms of self-love. And you should have enough of that to pour into other people. Start spreading good energy. That's a reflection of how you feel about yourself. That's a reflection of your internal state. Because hurt people, and heal people heal people. When you're good with yourself, when you're good with loving yourself, and you're at peace with yourself, you start attracting that abundance that you desire. You have love, joy, and peace in your life again. Plenty of kindness to give. And you don't need it in return because you're giving expecting not to receive anything from anyone in return. And that's what I saw in this woman today at the grocery store. She was so full of love, joy, and peace that it was just overflowing off of her onto everybody she came in contact with. She was doing more than her job. She was like standing in her purpose, spreading love, good energy. And everybody in her check stand line felt it and they were drawn to it. And that's what happens when you love yourself. You become a light. You become a good source of energy. You become someone people want to be around, not just because you're perfect, not because you have it all together, but because you're real and because you're authentic and because you're a good person and you love yourself. Now, let me talk about the places you're in and the energy you're around, because environment matters. The energy you're around matters. The people you surround yourself with matter. If you're in environments where people are stuck up and negative and cold and rude, that's going to affect you whether you want it to or not. It's going to drain you and it's going to lower your frequency. But if you're in environments where people are kind, where people are warm, where they're positive and uplifting, that's going to lift you. That's going to energize you. That's going to raise your frequency. And here's the thing, you don't have to move to San Diego to experience that. You don't have to wait for life to be perfect. You can be that energy wherever you are. You can be that person. You can give light. You can be the warmth. You can be the kindness because it starts with you. If you're in a place where neighbors don't speak, you be the one that speaks. If you're in a place where people don't smile, you be the person that smiles. If you're in a place where everybody is cold, be the warmth. Because when you do that, when you bring that energy, when you become that person, you change the environment. You shift the energy around you. You raise the frequency. And that's what I learned today. I don't have to wait for people to greet me. I don't have to wait for people to speak. I don't have to wait for people to be kind. I can be that person. I can be that energy. And by being that energy and upbeat and pleasant, I uplift others. And that's what I'm going to start to do because that's what self-love looks like. And when you love yourself, you've got enough to spread around. Don't ever let anybody talk you out of loving yourself. I don't care what you're going through. I don't care what you've lost. I don't care what you don't have. You still have you. And that's enough. That's more than enough because God gave you gifts, He gave you talents, and He gave you abilities. God gave you a purpose. And all of that needs to be nurtured. All of that needs to be protected. And all of that needs to be loved. So love yourself. Love yourself enough to take care of your body. Love yourself enough to protect your peace. Love yourself enough to pursue your purpose. Love yourself enough to be kind. Love yourself enough to smile and lift your head up. And love yourself enough to be you. Because when you love yourself, when you're good with yourself, when you're whole within yourself, you become the light and the source of good energy. You become the person that people are drawn to because you're real, because you're authentic, because you're you. So be that person. Be the person you want to see. Be the energy that you want to be around. Be the light in a world full of darkness. Love yourself. Be good with yourself. Everything else is going to fall in place. If you found value in this, grab one of my books in the description or buy me a cup of coffee. Either is appreciated. Just click one of the links below. Support the channel so we can keep growing strong. Hopefully, you walked away with more value than you walked in with, and we brightened your day. As always, all gas, no brakes. Lock in. Peace.